Good morning, Brad.
How are you, DJ Roy?
I'm good. I'm just reminiscing of my English days, mate, when I used to listen to Enkelbert Humperdinck. Does that name sound familiar?
I know exactly who he is.
Yeah?
And as I grew up as a child, I chose not to listen to Engelbert Humperdinck. And I know there's lots of people out there who also chose not to listen to that guy. Except if you wanted to go to sleep. If you wanted to go to sleep, it was good sleeping music.
See, you got to understand, Brad, there was a strategy to people that listen to Enkelbert. Because, see, the girls followed Enkelbert. Enkelbert and Tom Jones was like the man and the Beatles.
Let me tell you something. No girl I ever dated followed him. I can be quite sure about that.
It's kind of the British invasion. So it was across the pond. You know, it was across the pond, my friend. New York City, Connecticut, and New Jersey. I've got the attorney online. His name is Brad Bernstein. He's from the law offices of Spar and Bernstein. And the law offices is not just about immigration, even though we talk a lot about immigration on air. But of course, if you have personal injury, you can give them a call. Criminal defense, you can give them a call. Of course, child custody, you can give them a call. Child support, divorce, and of course, auto accident, tax debt relief, and especially this time of the year when I know some people haven't filed their taxes yet because they're saying, I owe them for the last 3 years, and I don't know what. Well, I know what you can do. You can take out your phone right now and call 1-800-526-7977. I'm giving out a wrong number here. 1-800-526-7977. 1-800-526-7977. Someone's standing by right now to take your phone calls. Now, here's what I suggest to you. If you really have a tax problem and you want to find out what, of course, the law offices of Spar and Bernstein could do for you, the consultation is absolutely free. So really and truly, you have nothing to lose. Pick up the phone now. One thing I can tell you about Uncle Sam, he will get his money sooner or later, and the longer it takes to get his money, the more pain and agony it's going to cause you. But if you call 1-800-526-7977 right now and just talk to one of the professionals over there, that's going to tell you what you can do to, of course, turn your tax nightmare into, of course, how should I say, tax dreams. All right, Brett?
Into tax nightmare, you would turn your tax nightmare into tax forgiveness.
Ah, there you go.
That's what we do. Mm-hmm. And we get the IRS, the state government, the federal government to say, okay, you don't owe the money, sorry. And the way we do it, it's not magic, okay? We negotiate with the IRS to basically say, listen, our client owes X amount of dollars. He or she can't afford to pay that amount of money. Let me explain to you why. They make X amount of dollars. This is their expenses that they have for clothing, automobile, their home, their electric bill, their telephone bill. And when all is said and done, there is no money left over to pay taxes, or there's very little money left over to pay taxes. And Mr. IRS man, wouldn't you rather get a little bit of something than owe all this money and try to collect it and never be able to collect it? So we negotiate with the IRS, and there are laws in place that empower the IRS to make deals with people when they owe a substantial amount of money. And we have been very successful, although prior successful results don't guarantee a similar outcome in the future, but we have been very successful in reducing people's taxes substantially. It is an absolutely free consultation. So if you owe tax dollars, you owe any money to the government, whether it's the state or federal government, doesn't matter even what state. You have friends in Georgia who owe money in Georgia. Let them call us. You have friends in Florida who owe money. Let them call us. In Hawaii, in Alaska, in Wyoming, doesn't matter, all 50 states, we can handle those tax cases. And there's just one number you need to know. If you owe money or your friend or family member owes money in taxes, it is an absolutely free consultation. You have absolutely nothing to lose other than your tax bill. So why wouldn't you call to see if we can save you money? If you're on a payment plan with the IRS, we may be able to save you money. Call 1-800-526-7977. That's 1-800-JAM-7977. You're going to speak to Sean Chi, who's the head of my tax department, and he's going to let you know whether or not he can save you substantial amounts of money. And if we can, trust me, whatever you end up paying me is going to be peanuts compared to what we're going to save you. And if we cannot help you, we're going to tell you. And what did you have to lose? A 5-minute telephone call, a 10-minute telephone call to save perhaps thousands, if not tens and tens of thousands of dollars. It'll be the best 5 or 10 minutes you ever spent in your life if we can save you the money. Call us now. Sean is available to speak to you right now. It's 1-800-526-7977. That's 1-800-JAM-7977. We have this special Irie Jam number that identifies you as an Irie Jam listener, and although all our clients get special VIP treatment, we give that little extra VIP treatment to our Irie Jam listeners because DJ Roy has asked us to do so. So it's 1-800-526-7977 for all or any of your tax problems. If you haven't filed a tax return in years and need to file your taxes, give us a call. Not only can we file your back taxes, but we can probably wipe away that back tax debt. If you owe tax money, call us. If you're on a payment plan, call us. It's absolutely free. You really have nothing to lose. 1-800-JAM-7977, 1-800-526-7977. Before we get to the telephone lines, DJ Roy, I wanna talk a little bit more about a telephone call we got yesterday where a guy said that he heard cops are picking people up on the streets.
Okay.
You remember that telephone call?
Yeah, I remember it.
Okay. All right. And so what's happened is this, that there is a law that all the states have to abide by in order to get federal funding, and it's called Secure Communities. Okay. And what Secure Communities, and Governor Cuomo tried to get out of it, but he couldn't. And what Secure Communities says is not that the cops can come and ask you for identification on the street and send you to immigration. Still not going to happen. It's not going to happen in New York. It's not going to happen if you report a crime to the police. They are not going to ask you for your identification. As a matter of fact, if you are a crime victim, we don't talk about this enough. If you are a crime victim and you've been the victim of a crime, I ask every person who comes into my office, have you ever been the victim of a crime? Meaning that you were victimized, not you committed the crime, but you were the victim of the crime. If you were the victim of a crime, you and your family are eligible for work visas that can be turned into green cards. And, so it pays to report crimes, because, you want to put the person who committed the crime against you in jail, and you don't want them to commit other crimes to other people. But also, number two is if you are out of status, it will help you become in legal status. So although you may have been victimized, there is a silver lining to that. So it's called a U visa. So if you have been the victim of a crime, you should be calling us or contacting our office immediately. The same telephone number as the tax department, 1-800-526-7977. That's 1-800-JAM-7977. But what is Secure Communities? Secure Communities is if you get arrested for a crime, cops come and arrest you, and they book you and they charge you with an offense. They are now required to call the Department of Homeland Security to verify your legal or non-legal status, and Department of Homeland Security will do whatever they do, perhaps maybe even put you in deportation. In the past, what has happened prior to yesterday is if you were convicted of the crime, then New York State would contact Department of Homeland Security either when you're at Rikers or through your probation officer. And in essence, actually, New York State, for all intents and purposes, if you were put in Rikers and you weren't making bail, or you had or it was a serious offense that you were sitting in Rikers, New York State was contacting the Department of Homeland Security now. Anyway, the only difference that has happened between Monday and Wednesday is the people who are arrested on the more minor offenses, who walk into the police station, get booked, get charged, and are told to go to court on XYZ date. The police department now has the authority to contact Department of Homeland Security, where in the past it was only after you were sent to Rikers Island or if you were convicted of an offense. So yes, it is a little scarier now if you are arrested versus before, but it's certainly not a situation where where they're picking you up off the street and asking you for ID like in Arizona. That's not what's going on. And unfortunately, New York State did not want to abide by it, but unfortunately, from what I understand, they had no choice. So we'll see how it goes. The reality is, if you are out of status and you have an opportunity to get a green card, you should be doing it now. Because as you can see, it gets harder and harder year by year. It doesn't get easier. Life doesn't get easier. It gets harder. But if you get a green card, life becomes a little easier. Now, even if you enter the country without inspection, because of the rule changes by President Obama, you can obtain a green card if you're married to a U.S. citizen, if you in a bona fide marriage. If you came here legally and you're married to a citizen, you can get your green card. All, of course, in a bona fide marriage. Even if you came here on somebody else's name, but you have that information or you have that foreign passport, not as an American citizen, but a foreign passport, in New York State, you can adjust your status here based on marriage to a citizen and file a waiver. So, obviously, you're not going to go run off and get married just for the sake of getting a green card. But I know there's so many people out there who are in relationships who are saying, well, you know what, I don't want to get married because I want to do it for the right reasons. Well, unfortunately, life hits you with a ton of bricks right over the head. The right reasons are, hey, how about not getting deported? How about becoming legal and getting straightened out? So if you have those opportunities to get your green card now is the time to do it. 1-800-526-7977. That doesn't mean Brad is saying go run off and go marry a bum on a street corner. Okay, you have to be in a real bona fide loving marriage. But the reality is you can't not do nothing at this point in time. And if there's an opportunity for you to obtain your legal residence, now would be a good time to do it. Even if you don't have that opportunity to get your green card now, every person who's listening should be entering my telephone number in their phone book, in their phone, in their iPhone, in their Android, in their BlackBerry, because, when you need an immigration lawyer, especially now in this situation with secure communities coming on board in New York today, you will need a good lawyer available to you. I am not the only good lawyer in the world, but if you think that I am a good lawyer and I would be the one that you would want to represent, then what I would suggest every person does right now is dial this number, 1-800-JAM-7977. It's 1-800-526-7977. Hang the phone up. You'll hear Spar and Bernstein. You'll have my number saved in your phone for life. And God forbid, if you have a problem, you know who to call. 1-800-JAM-7977. Obviously, God forbid you get into a car accident or a medical malpractice. You've heard our success stories in the past. We have gotten millions and millions of dollars for our clients. Save my telephone number, 1-800-JAM-7977, 1-800-526-7977.